formed. Exeter has a speciality, I don't know why, of this kind. And I'm really amazed that I've been here 3 times. And people have not taken up life seriously. They have not taken up the purpose for which they are born. It's a sad thing, I feel. But again, I wanted to try that maybe you people will be able to realize how important it is to get your self-realization. Already they must have told you about your Kundalini, the power that works out this miracle of your second birth. It's already being done by God. He's put everything down there. It's all there. You are just ready for it. But you must have the desire. You must have an ardent desire. There cannot be any realization for a person or any development for a person if the person doesn't desire it. Your desire is the most important thing. And you'll be amazed that even the Kundalini about which we are talking is nothing but your primal desire, the power of your primal desire, because all other desires are transitory, are absolutely temporary, and they fizzle out. You want to have a house, all right, you can have a house. Then you want to have something else, and then something else. Economic wants are never satiable. So you go on asking for this and that, then you go to politics. For power, you try to have some emotional experiences. All these are transitory, and they all vanish in the thin air, while the joy of the spirit is the permanent. But people who are not desiring it are asking for frivolous things and things that are of no value at all, I tell you. It is of no value to have all these things because you are so affluent already. Still there is no joy, there is no happiness. There is no peace in the family, there is no bliss. So we have to achieve that which is permanent, which is eternal, which is promised to us. You have been very carefully made into this being, the human being. Is the epitome of the creation. But how far do we value ourselves, our human existence? Do we realize that thousands of years the nature has worked to make us human beings, and that at this time when you have to just become the spirit, we are hesitating, we still are dominated by desires which are not the primal desires. Normally when the Kundalini awakens, a person definitely gets transformed. And he gets the power to get over all the nonsensical ideas about life. All his misidentifications drop out. I have known so many cases. We had a boy who came from some pub, I think, and he was shouting at me. He was screaming at me, and he was very, very funny. But he got his realization. Luckily he got his realization. From next day, he gave up everything. There was no alcoholism, the problem which doctors cannot solve, nobody can treat him. There are so many who were suffering from diseases which were absolutely incurable, just got all right. That's physical side. So many emotional problems, like people who were mad, lunatic, got cured. But the spiritual problem is the main problem, where people go to fake gurus and fake people, pay them lots of money, run like mad, and then they come back and find that that was a fake guru, and they give up. But why? Why do we like the fake guru so much and not Sahaja Yoga? We should find out why. Why is it that the fake gurus in this Exeter, we had a fake guru who had thousands of disciples. And why for Sahaja Yoga we can't get people? The reason is, plain and simple. I was told that this gentleman who was supposed to be the guru used to drink, used to have women, do all kinds of things, and every disciple was allowed to have any kind of unrighteous life that they wanted. Because no power was given to the disciples. Only they had one power, is to pay to this horrible man. That's all the power they had, and they thought that we can purchase this guru. We can buy this man, and by buying this man, we are something. Or there's another one who talks that you will become great, you have to be very great, Christ was nothing, you are going to become very great. All such talks sometimes really pamper our ego, and we get driven to that. One should know that one has to be real and honest. If you are not honest to yourself, how can anybody else make it? You have to be honest to yourself, first of all, that you must know that you want the reality. And if you want the reality, you must know you cannot pay for it. You cannot pay for it. You have to become that. That becoming is not so difficult. I tell you, it is not at all difficult, because so many people who have got realization in England, there are in thousands, and they are doing very well. They are beautiful people. They are all realized souls, and they know how to handle the Kundalini. They also cure people. Not only that, but their lives are changed, their patterns are changed. They are very happy, joyous people. This has to happen. The time has come of your resurrection. The whole of humanity has to rise to it. This is the only solution that you can think of for all the turmoil, all the destruction that is facing us today. But do we realize that we are playing a part in that destruction if we do not take to this lift? This lift is very important in our lives, and we have to do it. I do not know why, but it is really surprising why people do not want to become themselves. To be the self is the master. You are the master of yourself. You have to be the master of yourself, and not of some sort of silly ideas and stupid things. If you become the master, naturally nothing can dominate you. You become the free bird. You become absolutely on top of everything, and you can see everything as just a drama and a witness. All this is within you. All these powers are within you because the spirit is within. The Kundalini is within. You have to just, first of all, get your realization, enlightenment, and maintain it for a while. And you don't need much effort, because after realization you are really empowered. You get over your frivolities, you get over your stupidities, and you get over all these nagging habits that put you down, your self-respect and everything. Now, it is easy for people to go to any guru whatsoever, because you don't have to do anything. You just have to go, pay some money, and you become the disciple. The guru doesn't do anything. He doesn't even travel. He doesn't do anything. He sits nicely, you go and give him money, and he enjoys your money, and he's a parasite. But here, you are the guru. You have to become the guru. Here, you have to become the self, you have to be the guru, which is the principle already in you. It is to be enlightened. You cannot depend on anyone. You have to depend on yourself. And you are already entitled and empowered to be that. Sahaja. Sahaja means born with you. Saha is with, born with you. This power to be united with the divine is with you. It is within you. And the time has come. This is the blossom time. And this time you have to get it. If you lag behind, you have to face the problems. You have to face the problems later on. So those who call themselves as seekers, those who say that we are seeking God, we are seeking the truth, must know that to seek the truth is to see the truth within themselves and not without. If somebody says that you are going to fly in the air, you have to see the stars and the moons, that's not the way. It is within yourself. You have to see what you are, and when you start feeling your spirit, you start feeling others also. Because your spirit is the collective being. You have to become that. Again I say you have to become that spirit. So far your spirit is just watching you. It doesn't come into the play. It doesn't come into the play. It is still there in a state we can call as a witness. It is witnessing all that you are doing. But once the Kundalini rises from its base, there as you see in the triangular bone, it comes up, breaks through, and you start feeling the existence of spirit on your nervous system. You can feel it in your hands. It is so simple that even children can feel it. Say, for example, in this room, you have to put a light. Just you have to press one button and you get the light. But it's not so simple. To look at it looks simple. It looks absolutely live. If you tell a villager, the one who has never seen how electricity works, he won't believe it. He won't believe that this is possible. It is so naive for his mind also that how can it be? Just you press the button and you get the light. But you do get the light. And how? Because there is a mechanism behind it. There is an organization behind it. There is a history behind it. There is an evolution behind it. Now we are standing at the last part of our evolution. The human awareness that it is today is still not complete. If it was, we would not have been so much confused. We are confused because our awareness has not reached that stage where we become the spirit. Christ has said you are to be born again. Now there are people, I have heard the other day, one gentleman came and started talking, just like a tape recorder, that Christ was just a Kundalini yogi and all that thing. Who are they to judge Christ? What do they know about him? What is their power to judge him? You see, any Dick, Tom and Harry stands up and starts talking about anyone. First of all, let's know what is your power. Let's see what do you know about it. Have you found yourself? Please be honest about it. Please be honest. That's all is needed. Because the whole nature, the whole creation, all the pervading power of God's love is trying to do this for you. Everyone is trying to... I sometimes feel people are pampered. Because the way I see these days miracles happening to thousands of people getting realization, I'm myself amazed. How the divine itself has taken up upon itself to give this realization to you, to give this experience to you, to do this for you. It is something so remarkable. The whole compassion is working out this great work, this great drama of giving realizations to you. Of course, if you are not a seeker, it will take time. I mean, you can't teach people to see. You have to be hungry. If you are not seeking, it's not easy. I know it is very difficult. And if you are not seeking, you will take, I think, some time to do it. Some people who are not seeking, also when they see so many coming to Sahaja Yoga, getting cured, having a better life, enjoying themselves, becoming such good people, also follow them. But those who are seekers do not wait for any such things. They just jump into it, get it and become that. Are we going to waste our human life? Are we not going to be what we are meant for? For example, see, this instrument is made with such difficulties and with such care. But if you do not put this to the mains, what's the use? What's the use of this instrument? It's a waste. It's just a waste. And that's what one should know, that you should put it to the mains. And putting to the mains itself means getting realization. Yoga means union with the divine power that is all pervading. This divine power is there. We can see its effects. All the living work is done by that power. A flower becomes a fruit through that power. We exist because of that power. If you see these eyes, how beautifully God has made, how beautifully He has made us, all that is done by this God's loving power, which is all pervaded and is very subtle. You cannot feel it, because with this awareness, we are not yet that subtle. Only after realization you can feel that power, and you start feeling it as the cool breeze of the Holy Ghost. That should happen to all of you. Even if it happens, we must keep the connection all right. If you are loosely connected, if you do not put in effort to keep the connection on, sometimes it drops off. And that's what I find, people become extremely critical and extremely high-handed. They think that why should I do this, why should I do that? Because that is how you keep the connection. You'll be amazed that in India, thousands of people have got realization in the village. Thousands, and in this Exeter, how many people I find today? 3. You're lagging behind, I'm telling you, you're lagging behind. Once I go to America, I know Americans will take to it very fast, because they are fed up of guru shopping, they are absolutely tired of it, they don't want to talk about it, and they want to have self-realization. But here, what are we doing? You can imagine that thousands of people have already got realization, they are transformed, while people otherwise who are too much critical, think too much about it, do not get it. But we must come to logical conclusions. Without coming to logical conclusion, you should not jump onto anything blindly. That's absolutely wrong. Use your brains, I say. Like today, a gentleman at the BBC asked me that how is it many people are going to these fake gurus and paying them such a lot of money. I said they should use their brains. What has happened to their brains? Why don't they use their brains? First of all, you cannot pay for God's love. That's simple, very simple as that. You cannot pray for His love. You have never paid. You never paid for becoming human beings. You never paid for getting a flower into a fruit. You cannot pay for all these things. Secondly, you cannot put in any effort for a spontaneous thing. Whatever is living happens spontaneously. This is the living process of the living God. So come to right conclusion that if anything has to happen to us, it has to happen within. It has to happen in a way where we do not put in any effort, where we do not pay. Minimum of minimum, this much we should understand that this cannot be. Then the person who talks of God, of divine love and things, if he is interested in your purse, if he is interested in your women, who leads an unrighteous life, he has no business to be a guru. He has no business to be there. Then we have to come to another conclusion. Very positively, we are seekers. We are seekers of truth. We are seeking God. We are seeking the divine. And unless and until we find it, we are not going to rest. We have to find it at any cost. You might have done lots of mistakes. I know in seeking people have done lots of mistakes. They have gone to wrong places. They have been hate. People had epilepsy. They had all kinds of things. I know that. Doesn't matter. All these things can be corrected and improved. Because as I told you, the divine power itself, the divinity itself, God Himself wants to save His creation because you are the epitome of His creation. He wants to give you this. But it is not because you live in a particular place and if you are arrogant or egoistical or if you are afraid that He is going to bother about you. For Him, the whole race of human beings is just the same. If you are a human being, you can get your realization. That's all is wanted, that you have to be a human being. And the second is the people who are really seeking get it very fast. Some people get it very fast and also lose it very fast because they do not understand the value of that. The idea that we have to suffer for spirituality is absolutely out of date and absolutely out of any context. Because if you know, Christ has suffered for us. He has suffered for us, and people said that once He has suffered for us, He sucks in our sins. He sucks in our karmas. Then why are you suffering? Why do you want to suffer? Has He not suffered sufficiently? He is to be awakened within you. That's what it is. Once He is awakened within you, He sucks in, as you can see clearly there at the point here, where it is between the optic chiasma, near the pituitary and the pineal body is placed this subtle center, which when awakened sucks in the ego and superego on both the sides. So everything will be forgiven. There's nothing to worry about the past, nothing to feel guilty. Everything can be worked out so easily. If the Kundalini is allowed to rise, it can suck it. Once the center is awakened, there's no problem at all, and you get your realization quite all right. Today I was surprised that at BBC this thing, the gentleman, both of them, the producer and the director, both of them got realization. It's such a good thing to see that those people who are not so much concerned with spirit and not concerned with spiritual ascent got the realization. I was really enamored. I was so very happy about it. I mean, there are people and people who get realized, no doubt. Like in India, I would say that people understand who is a real guru and who is not, because they are not naive about it. This is the knowledge about the roots. While you know about the shoot, you don't know about the roots. While they know about the roots, they know what it is, how to find it, what happens, and how you achieve it. Everyone knows about Kundalini. You won't find any Indian who doesn't know about Kundalini. Maybe they are westernized. Westernized I can't say. But everyone knows it is the Kundalini awakening by which you get your realization. So now I have to request again to all of you living in Exeter. I have a feeling that Exeter has lots of seekers, but they are somehow lost somewhere. I don't know what's happening to them. And I'm very much concerned because maybe next time I may not be able to come here. I come all the way from London just to see them, and what I find that they just take realization and finish off. It's a very sad thing, and it should be so peculiar of this place that I can't understand. What's the reason why it happens? I went to Vienna where 60 people got realization in first shot, and they are increasing. Every country is like that. Switzerland, if you go, there are at least 1,000 people who have got realization. Of course, London, because I've been there for 8 years, so you can imagine there are lots of people who have got realization. But one has to know that after getting realization, you should not just sit back and say, no, nothing. You have to see that your connection is established, for which all the knowledge will be given to you, and you see that you retain that position. It's a very small thing that is to be done. If you really respect yourself, your life, as such as a human being, as much as I respect it, as much as I love, I'm sure even 1,000th of that, if you could understand what you are, you would do it. Because you are nothing but the spirit which is the joy, the spirit which is the attention, and the spirit that is the complete beauty. This is what you have to be. You don't call yourself ugly, or don't feel at all unhappy that you haven't got this or that. No inadequacy and no guilt. Nothing is going to stop you from getting realization. This is a day when I feel something should happen here also again, and that people should really rise above petty things and get to themselves and develop their realization. Rome, imagine Rome, a place like Rome. We have so many Sahaja Yogis, and here is somebody who has come. Now we are importing people from outside to come to Exeter, because so many people in London got really fed up. They just don't know what to do with the people in Exeter. Why are they not serious about their lives? So I would request you today, please, for heaven's sake, try to get your realization and establish yourself. Thank you very much. May God bless you. Will you please ask me questions? If there are any, I would like to answer them. But ask questions which are relevant, and not somebody guru has this and that. You see, if you have got to say something, you should find your own halls and say it. But not to represent here some guru. If he has given you something, why are you here? It's a simple thing as that. I would like you to ask me questions which are relevant and sensible. No questions? Yes, please.
Unbelieving of the natural evolutionary process over a period of years, when a person reaches a certain point in evolution happens, life happens.
Yes, it's true. I agreed with you that evolution happens up to the human stage. Up to the human stage, spontaneously, it's true. But at the stage of human beings, you see, we are specially made because we have lifted our head, and this I-ness has come into us, you see. The animals don't have that I-ness. We have that I-ness. And because of that happening, what happens? That the ego and superego meet here and get calcified. And you become Mr. X, you become Mr. Y. So your awareness is very different from that of an animal. And in this awareness, you must get that you have got your realization. If you don't get it, you cannot use it. It cannot be like an animal to human being. It has to be of a nature that you know about it, you are aware of it. If you are not aware that you have got your realization, then you won't be able to use it further. That's why this is important, that you should get it in your awareness. Very good question.
Too many, from my answers, but too many books have advising what to do special breathing exercise.
What? Breathing exercise?
And yet other books say that...
Yes, I agree with you. It's very confusing. All right. It's very confusing. I agree with you. See, whatever people say, you shouldn't believe it. Now, you must see for even what I say, you should not believe, but keep yourself open. All right? Now, some say you should do breathing exercise. Now, you should think about it. You see, by breathing, it's a living process. What I said, you come to right conclusion that evolutionary process is a living process. All right? So, for living process, supposing you have to sow a seed. All right? What do? You take a seed and put it in the Mother Earth. When you put it in the Mother Earth, she has the capacity to sprout it. All right? But supposing you breathing exercises you do or do what you like, it won't come up. It will only come up if the person who has authority to enlighten you can enlighten you, and then once you are enlightened, you can enlighten another person. So that you can verify whether you are enlightened or not. You can see with your naked eye the pulsation of the Kundalini, the rising of the Kundalini. You can feel it with the stethoscope. It comes upon your head here and it breaks. When it breaks there, the sound stops. You can hear lap, lap, just like the heart beat going up, and it breaks up here and you start feeling the cool breeze coming out of your head. But the transformation starts working out gradually within you, which you start seeing and you can verify it. So, you see, if you say that it is spontaneous, it should happen, but at this stage it cannot, because you have to enter into the kingdom of God. You are special people, so you have to be aware of it. You should know that now you have evolved. We never knew till Darwin put up this theory that we have evolved, isn't it? We never knew that we have evolved from amoeba to this stage. That was all right, but today you have to know, because that is the blessing of God which you should know. And you should know everything, not only that, but you should know what are these centers, how they work out, how you can handle them, how can arrange them, how can you give realization, how can you raise others kundalini, everything you have to know now, absolutely without paying anything. All this knowledge you have to have. Now for breathing, somebody says you do breathing exercise. Now that is also one has to do sometimes in Sahaja Yoga. But in Sahaja Yoga, the first thing is the awakening of the kundalini. Because supposing you have a problem of the centered heart, as they call it. Now here you see the green one and the yellow one, there's another center there. The green, you see this green and that green, there's another bluish center, if you see, that center one. If that is out of order, then you have to do a kind of a breathing exercise. If that is out of order, not otherwise. You see, it is the way we are doing everything is indiscriminate. We try to do something which is not necessary, or which has no relationship to our troubles or our weaknesses. It's like supposing now I have to go to London. Now I don't know how the traffic is going to be on the way, all right? So I beforehand, if I start pushing for the traffic, is absurd, because I'm not facing it. When the kundalini moves, then only you will know where the problem is, and then you should try to solve it. If it is at a lower centers or at a higher centers, you have to do something else. All the exercises that are told in the Patanjali Yoga Shastra are just a wee bit of the whole thing. There are ashtangas, there are 8 angas of the yoga. Out of that, one of them has got yamaniyama, out of which 1/3 are the exercises. These exercises only correct the backbone, the physical side of it, not the subtler side of it. So when you just start looking after your health or say your physical side, you neglect your emotional side. A person who looks after his health too much can be a very dry person, absolutely feelingless. He can become absolutely feelingless. If somebody dies, he won't feel anything and he'll think, I've become a great saint. But he'll be a hot-tempered fellow, extremely hot-tempered. You can't go near him. If you go near him very much, he may bark or he may bite you. So that sort of a thing might happen. So you have to understand in complete integration, where is the problem, what is the problem, and what is the treatment needed. But once it happens to you, then only you will know. You can verify it one after another. So this is what it is, you have to know about it. Everything you must know why you are doing why. Why you have to do it. What is the need to do this, what is the need to do that. But if somebody tells you, just do this, stand on your heads, you start doing that. Why? Why should we stand on our heads? What is the need to stand on our heads? Everything should be logical, as I said, but once you get your realization, the whole thing becomes so logical because you start understanding the laws of the divine. Once you understand those laws, then you know by doing what, you get what. For example, leukemia, a disease like leukemia, we have cured and we can cure it. Leukemia very easily, cancer can be cured also. Now how leukemia is caused? Perhaps people do not know. It's caused because a person is very hasty, very speedy. When he is sort of in the morning, he takes his breakfast in his hand, sits on his car, and all the time is in a haste, going for his work, and there's a jam on the way, and he's absolutely upset. The spleen, which is on the left-hand side, you see, has to produce red blood corpuscles for your emergencies. And it becomes crazy. It becomes absolutely crazy. It doesn't know what to do with a person who is doing 3-4 things simultaneously in a hasty way. When it becomes crazy, the situation is created. The situation for leukemia is created, and if it is triggered, as the doctors they call it as protein 58, protein 52. Because doctors are honest, they don't want to say more than what they know. But when we know, we can tell you that what it is. They say that these proteins enter into us and they triggered the cancer. Now what are these proteins? They say that they come from an area which is built within us since our creation. We call it as collective subconscious. All those things you will know, how they trigger, how they come in, and what happens to it. It is very simple to understand because here we are dealing with the principles which create it. Once it gets out of principles, then it gets on, you see, complicated. But if you know how to handle the principle, you can correct it and can manage it. It's a fact. You can verify it yourself, and you have to verify it. Keep your mind open and see for yourself. All right? Thank you. Should we have the experience now? All right? But you all have to promise me that I'll work it out, but you must continue with it. You should not just give up halfway, because that's not good. That's very, very sad. As Christ has said, a parable, that some seeds fell on the rocks. I saw beautiful red rocks near Exeter. I hope also there is very beautiful soil, which is red and nice. I saw very good barley fields and other fields. I hope there are people who will receive realization and sprout into beautiful trees of Sahaja Yoga. May God bless you. You have to just, now again I'll tell you, you have to do few things which are simple. You have to take out your shoes. For one reason, that the Mother Earth helps us to suck in the problem, you see. So just take out your shoes. Nothing extraordinary has to be done. Those people can come forward. How are you today? Are you feeling all right, this gentleman? Are you all right? How are you feeling? You came? How are you? All right. Just put your hands like this. It's your own. I mean, you should be cheerful about it. Absolutely cheerful. It's just there. You have to find it. That's all. This is your property, which you are going to have. There's no obligation, nothing. It's just your own. Be cheerful about it. There's nothing to be frightened. Nothing is going to happen. It's very simple. Just put your hands like this. Close your eyes. Please close your eyes. Now don't open your eyes till I tell you, because the Kundalini doesn't rise above a certain center of Agya if your eyes are opened out. So please keep them closed. Just see, this is against hypnotism, where they put some spirits through eyes. So keep your eyes shut, because there is dilatation of the pupil when the Kundalini rises, and if the Kundalini, the eyes are not closed, it stops at a point. So just help yourself. Little bit cooperate with me and it will work out. I am sure it will work out. Just cooperate with me a little. Put both the hands towards me, just like this. Put both the hands. If you have anything tight on your body, you can loosen it a little bit and be comfortable. You have to be comfortable. If anything tight on your body, just loosen it if possible. Put both the hands towards me. Just like that. Keep your eyes shut, please. Now the first thing I have to request you, that you have to say, Mother, I am not guilty. This you say it at least 3 times. With complete confidence, with complete belief in yourself, that you are not guilty. Because whatever guilt you think of is just a speck. I am talking about God, who is the ocean of love, the ocean of compassion, ocean of forgiveness. Whatever you have done, just forget it and say, Mother, I am not guilty. First of all, you must respect yourself. If you don't respect yourself, it's not going to work out. Just say, Mother, I am not guilty. Three times you say, Mother, I am not guilty. Already some people must have started feeling the cool breeze. Their vibrations are too much. Now you put your right hand on your heart. Now ask me a question. Mother, am I the spirit? Ask me a question thrice, please. Just ask me a question with confidence. Mother, am I the spirit? Now bring that hand down. You've already started feeling the cool breeze? Down below. You bring that hand down below on the left hand side on your stomach. Now here at this point, you have to say, ask a question again. Mother, am I my own master? Am I my own guru? Because you are. But just ask a question. By asking the question, the center starts working. In a humble way, please ask in a humble way, Mother, am I my own guru? Now raise it again, the hand to your heart and say, Mother, I am the spirit. Now say it 12 times. With full confidence. With full confidence say it, Mother, I am the spirit. Now put this right hand on the left hand side of your neck. Now say, Mother, I am not guilty. Say it 16 times because this is a punishment for feeling guilty. It's the worst center all of you have got. I don't know why you sit down and start feeling guilty for nothing at all. Now put your right hand again across your forehead, and just say one thing twice. Mother, genuinely, honestly, I forgive everyone. You have to be honest. If you are dishonest, it won't work out. Mother, I forgive everyone. Genuinely, please say that. This is how I am teaching you also how to raise your own Kundalini. I forgive everyone. Say it twice. Absolutely, genuinely you say it. I forgive everyone. Now put this hand on your head, resting on your head in the center. Try to press it and see if it is hot or cold. Just see. At this point, I have to request you, because I cannot get over your freedom. I cannot. You have to ask for your realization. I cannot just force you down into it. So you have to say, Mother, please give me my realization. Just say that at that point. Unless and until you ask for it, I cannot do it. I just can't do it. I cannot force you into it. Press the hand. Hard. Hard you press it. You can press it with fingers if you want. Now raise your hand and see if there's a cool breeze coming out. If not, put your right hand, and with the left hand you can feel it. See if there's a cool breeze coming out. Normally people should feel it, but if you are complicated, it's rather difficult. But normally you should. Whole left is catching. Put your another hand and see. Will the Sahaja see some of the people? Because I'm in a hurry to go today, so just let's see if we can finish. See this gentleman maybe? Yes, I don't know. This one. So ask right questions, no doubt. Yes, he did feel. Yes. What about